Bitcoin and being early. Guys, I tuned up the microphone because so many people basically complained about the sound volume, so please let me know right away if it's good. So, today, Bitcoin, being early, we are going to talk about being early in crypto. So, hey everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about some things that are just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing how this asset can be around so many years and still we see the signs that we are seeing that imply quite significantly to us that we are so early. So let's jump right into it. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you. How are you doing? Are you doing good? Are you doing fine? Guys, we have a new Rare Hodler screen here, or better, we cleaned it up a little bit. We don't. Actually, we don't have the right one here. I wanted to clean it up a little bit, but Mewtwo is already on the screen. Only that there was a cleanup. I wanted to do a cleanup. Anyways, Mewtwo is already on the screen. So welcome Mewtwo as the new Rare Hodler. So then the guys that did unsubscribe, enjoy your last day on the Rare Hodler screen. But there will be a nice little cleanup, and thus we will have a little bit of a space. So the volume is great, that is fine. Awesome, I can hear you without jacking up my volume. Okay, that's fine. I thought always that probably it's going to be too brutal, but I can upregulate this stuff, right? Okay. Good to know. So, guys, make sure to smash up the like button right now, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and make sure that if you want to become a Rare Hodler, then you only have to become a channel member and join our awesome family here that you see on the Rare Hodler screen. And then you will find yourself. Mewtwo, did you already find yourself here? Because I threw you just in the middle of everything. Tomorrow it will look a little bit differently, because I will have done the cleanup here. Okay, so let's I had some other stuff to announce, so let's go with the screen here quickly. So we are having a new situation here that basically that some new people are coming into the space. So this is my channel here, obviously. Here you see also a couple of our members. But yesterday I uploaded 2 videos, and I'm going to proceed a little bit more with this. And we see here, hey, how to start with Veve, how to create Veve account, and also how to get a free Blackpink collectible NFT on Veve. So if you don't know how to get this, then make sure to check out that video. But also feel free to share these videos whenever you see new people coming into the space, because they might not know how to create an account, or if you see any questions, feel free to share this video. So overall, you can recommend my account to them, hopefully, if you can combine it with your conscience. But anyways, let's jump right into crypto, being early, and let's, as always, look first at Bitcoin. So we expected a bounce on this level, but actually we didn't expect, for the worst case scenario, we didn't expect to come as high as we are, and there is something bullish in this sideways action unfolding that I want to show to you quickly. So we are here, actually, something that we rarely do, we are actually in the 4-hourly. So you can see here, if we were to coil up again and challenge this small resistance here, we would be forming something like a inverse head and shoulders, and the head is very big on this one, and maybe this will happen and then we would probably break out in a large manner if this happens, right? So this little inverse head and shoulders is definitely there. We can even see it on the daily if you were to look at this, but nonetheless, on a broader time frame, we have just a series of lower highs, basically, and that is still a downtrend until proven otherwise, until maybe this inverse head and shoulders breaks and we might fire up here. So we really wait for this. As long as we have the sequence of lower highs, there is still the possibility to head lower also here on our target, which is why we're leaving the worst case scenario. Again, this doesn't mean that I predict this is 100% happening. This does only mean this could happen, but if you're looking at the basically moving average bull market support coming up here, it would be a very quick wick down, and the likelihood is not super high that 52K will still happen with everything that is going on and with everything that we will be seeing. But it's not out of the possibility. And to the upside, if we would just say this, whatever bull flag falling channel that we had is still active because of that, then here's the upside target still from that, going to 100K. So yes, again, we are in a it could go down, it could go up, and it could go sideways. Overall, I would not be surprised if we consolidate longer. But at the moment, today, we're a little bit green, sitting around the 63K and enjoying the ride here. So let's see here. So everyone's in the house, a lot of rare hodlers. Also, Midas touch green. I'm glad you don't promote meme coins like other VV influencers. I actually saw your comment on X just now, so I was figuring that you are not too. I have nothing against this, but the problem is that it goes against like, for me, if we're a community and we want to build something together, I think that's fine. If there is a group of people that want to build something together and that want to make more out of Chuck, for example. But the way, and maybe I'm taking this wrong, right? But the way this all is built is in this space, and I'm really like, I'm a pessimist on brotherhood in this space when it comes to taking profits, right? In the end, especially for crypto coins, this is a 1 versus 1 arena, right? So you're taking profit before everyone else. And again, I don't want to have anyone being angry with me because they're so in love with Chuck, but yeah, it's just not my type of coin. Let's put it that way, right? So I have nothing against it, but it's not my type of coin. Okay, so let's jump right in. So I think this was the expectation for Bitcoin, right? I think that was pretty funny, and the reality is yeah. So obviously we think that in the long term, Bitcoin is not only a bulldog, yeah, it's just not a corgi, right? We hope that also the other coins that we're invested in will do fine, but I thought this was illustrating it super good, right? So definitely good. So economy, let's go a little bit into economy, and then we'll go on why we are so early, right? So this is earnings season, and that's on track, and it's just the strongest in more than 2 years, right? And this is percentage wise. So let me just quickly move the chat a little bit so you can see it. So since the first quarter of 2022, basically, we haven't been as high. So on average, companies reported earnings 7% above expectations. which is the largest margin since Q4 2021. And this is higher than the 5% pre-pandemic average. So yeah, I think that this could be the turnaround, right? In the economy. And also, imagine, I mean, it's still, this would signal that the economy can still withstand some other like months with the rates higher. But on the other hand, imagine that Powell just starts cutting rates. I think the earnings will be fantastic then, and crypto will do extremely well. So let's talk a little bit about being early. So this guy, this Ohio State, how do you say this? Like he's getting his degree, right, and he's doing his speech. So this guy speaks on Bitcoin, and let's watch this together quickly.
Great investors are open-minded and understand things before other people. So I know this might feel polarizing, but I encourage you to keep an open mind right now. I see Bitcoin as a very misunderstood asset class. It's decentralized and finite, which means no government can print more at will. In the early days, the exchanges for Bitcoin were prone to hacks and fraud, but the issue has been resolved with the recent launch of the Bitcoin ETFs backed by two of the world's largest asset managers, BlackRock and Fidelity. So anyone could hold these ETFs in your retirement account.
Okay, he obviously nailed it, but the thing is here, did you hear this in the background? He just got booed when the moment that people saw that it's about Bitcoin or realized that it's about Bitcoin, he got booed. And if you didn't see it, here's another angle that is even illustrating it better. So let's watch it as also.
So I know this might feel polarizing, but I encourage you to keep an open mind right now.
No.
I see Bitcoin.
Okay, so he just showed a graphic to the stadium about how the value of Bitcoin almost represents a house per Bitcoin. It's like six Bitcoin is equal a house. Before it was 600 and so on. This graphic is very known in the crypto space. But the most important thing is that even though Bitcoin is now available as an ETF from BlackRock and Fidelity, he's in a stadium full of students and they boo him because the narrative is that Bitcoin is not good for the environment and that it's investment bullshit and whatnot. So you can see that the predominant narrative actually sticks so hard with the people that they are kept from taking part in this cycle right now. And this is why I don't think that we are headed in into a super cycle this year. I still think that there are many more catalysts and many more adoption, and I don't think that this is the last cycle that behaves in a normal way. I think we will top out again, and I think we will crash into another bear market, and I think there will be more and more things that need to happen to have Bitcoin adoption. And I think that even though 13 years is a long time for a human being, that for an asset class of this type, which requires technological understanding, there are too many demographics and facets that either cannot comprehend it yet or will never be able to comprehend it. For example, think about very old people. They will never be in Bitcoin because they will not. Many old people, maybe a couple of percent they do, but many old people will not understand it because they already don't understand the touchpad on the bank machine. So these people will at some point go to the afterlife, and other people will mature and grow. So I think overall, it will take many more decades for Bitcoin to completely saturate, and it will yield these returns, because we are going from a couple of million to tens of millions of people. That is nothing compared to 8 billion people, right? We will go from tens of millions to hundreds of millions, and then from hundreds of millions to billions one day. But that's not where we are at the moment. And everyone knows many people know that Bitcoin exists and have heard the word. But that is million miles away from actually owning Bitcoin or even researching what it is, what it does, what it solves. And I think most people will come into Bitcoin or crypto in general, when their purchasing power is eaten up enough and no other alternative will solve it for them. But we saw just now that company stocks and earnings are doing fine. There are so many people that will stick to that if it solves their problem of outperforming inflation. But at some point it will not. And we see that in other countries like Argentina before Milei, and also in some other countries that have rampant inflation. People are now considering getting Bitcoin, and they will, at the moment that they have money left over, they will buy some Bitcoin. Let's see here. Mewtwo says 98% of people around me still have no clue what Bitcoin is, think it's a scam, or just don't want to hear anything about it. Even programmers, which I find just perplexing. 100%. So in my family, I have one uncle that has crypto, and he came in basically in late 2021 and 2022, so during the bear market also. And I have a cousin that is heavily in crypto, right? So stuff like that is obviously exciting if you have some people in the family, but my family is way bigger, and most people, they don't care about Bitcoin, or they think it's a scam, as you said. Then the narrative of being bad for the environment just because someone said it, but they cannot explain how it's bad for the environment. It's just there, right? It's just when there are so many people that when something is being pushed through the news, they just stick with it, right? So they just keep it in their head and they repeat it. So just go to work. Just make an experiment. It's super funny. It works 100% of the time. You go to work, if you are at a work where people are coming together to eat together, for example, and you go to work and you don't watch the news for I don't know, many days, right? Or you just watch my news here, which are financially oriented. And you will see, when you talk to people, you will know what is being said in the news just by them repeating the same words. So that, for example, there are some buzzwords. Remember when they came out with the new normal? People at work and in family and wherever, they start talking. It's like, I think it's not going away anymore. I think we will have to wear masks forever, for example. It's the new normal. It's the new normal. It's the new normal. It's the new normal, right? They just, you hear it everywhere. They implant an idea and it sticks. It sticks really hard. So the idea for Bitcoin that is still sticking really hard is that what the dollar really is, or the euro really is, they put it on Bitcoin and said that's the scam currency, right? So they said it's a scam, whereas US dollar and euro and whatever fiat currency is a real scam. They say money laundering is happening with Bitcoin, but in fact the biggest rate of money laundering is actually happening with fiat currency. They say it's used in deep web and darknet to pay I don't know what stuff, right? Illegal stuff. Oh no, actually the most illegal transactions are still being made in fiat currency. So Mewtwo also says, I'm in my last year in university and I know a bunch of programmers and software engineers which have no interest of even reading or learning about it, but they love writing code. Where is the curiosity? Yeah, exactly. So I think there in university, what could be interesting for them is actually not to look at Bitcoin first. They could be looking at altcoins like Chainlink and find out how this actually is a business model and solves problems. And then maybe they want to develop some dApps or some applications on top of it. Maybe they will find an interesting use case or an interesting entry in a use case that actually interests them in the blockchain space. So I hope that there will be also like it took from the nerds and everyone playing around with computers. It took 20 years or more for the first schools to even offer computer courses to their to the children of this world, right? So at least in Germany, and I'm not even thinking about like countries in development, right? But there are also some countries that are developing countries that are way advanced in that and that actually offer stuff like that. But I think what we need now is we need that schools are offering also about crypto and blockchain, and where people can actually start developing, and also about AI, right? So that people can still deal with what is coming. Harry says, "Hey bro, I'm holding Gary. Can you check Gary network token too?" Unfortunately, not today, Harry. Not today. Not going into Gary today. Today we are going to talk about Ecomi and Veve. And about being early. So here is a chart that will blow your mind, because while the general retail investor doesn't understand what's happening, the people that are already holding 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin, they are aggressively buying. So you see the orange line is holders of 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin. And for example, what you see is, when we thought that the bear market bottom was in, and then when it really was in and all the way down, these people went buying on a buying spree. You see that they came up, but now the price is already high, dipped, and look at that. Since basically the price went here on beyond 30,000, these people just went crazy, right? And these are not only people I know. These might be institutions, these might be smaller asset managers, these might be whatever, like this might be everything. But 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin wallets, they just went completely crazy. And this is probably including ETF wallets, but it's still going up. In this dip, it's still going up, right? So where retail is selling, and I can show you that it's actually retail that's selling. Now I have to move my face also. Let's move myself. I can't move myself up, so I'm going to move myself down here below that thing. So you see here the shrimps. They had a daily change and a weekly change of hundreds and thousands of Bitcoin. That is actually a disaster, right? Because the shrimps, they already had only 0 to 1 Bitcoin, right? Somewhere between. So like me, I'm in this way, I'm a shrimp, right? I'm below 1 Bitcoin. I just didn't sell it. But there are many people that sold it because they're scared probably. They came into Bitcoin, were excited, went up a couple of $1,000 on the Bitcoin, and then we dumped down and they literally got scared and sold off Bitcoin. And you see here the crabs, even the crabs had a little bit of negative change, but they were adding to Bitcoin. And then the fish, the ones they were adding, and then we have the sharks, 100 to 1,000, that actually have now a negative change as well, even though that we saw in the overall chart it didn't really impact. But then the whales of 1,000 plus, they just scooped it up. They just scooped up everything. If you add this here, that's not even, look at that, like on the day, like the 4,000, and overall on the week, they just bought everything basically. They and the fish, they bought everything from everyone else, right? So there are people that know stuff is coming, right? And they just add, they just add to it. And they know, and this is the reason why they're adding. Oops, sorry about that. There you go. Let me just rearrange this. Unfortunately, with shared content here, it's always a little bit a problem. Hey, Chago Solis, what's going on, GM? Welcome to the stream. So they know what's going on. If you would just divide Bitcoin into different seasons, which you could also rename, right? There is fall and winter, which we just passed. There is spring, which we were done with, and now it's summer, right? If you do that, then you will. You could also say like a late bull to into bear market, the redistribution, reaccumulation, and then the pumping phase. This is where we are, and this is why they're accumulating so hard, right? Pro Legendary, what's going on with the hide the pain hodlers? Yeah. So I think the parabolic phase is coming in here, and once we're headed into late bull, the late bull will be only in 2025. So I think good things are coming right now. There are really, really good things coming. Then also, yesterday we talked about that Robinhood got sued, or Robinhood got a Wells notice by the SEC, and now the Robinhood founder said he will challenge SEC in court to defend crypto business and establish regulatory clarity after SEC issued the Wells notice. So they basically sent a letter to Robinhood and said, you are doing something illegal and we are probably going to sue you. It's just ridiculous what the SEC is doing all the time. So yeah, now this is like a perfect transition, but let's talk about it. So we talked a couple of weeks ago on the stream, we talked about who would be next to adopt Bitcoin ETFs. And we said that the next ones on the list are probably Korea, Japan, and some other Asian countries. And it's no coincidence that this is all coming out right now. It's obviously because of the halving, and in my opinion, because the asset manager, they want to capitalize on all the fees and what's going on when people are aping into crypto. They want to be a part of it, so their governments have to make a move now to permit it, because everyone who is not in it, they already lost out on the fees on a buying frenzy that brought us up to 70-something thousand. But the real deal is coming in the next weeks or month. We don't know exactly when it pumps, but they want to capitalize on it. So, and South Korea is a big crypto nation, and luckily also Veve is now making the move into Korea just at the right time, it seems, because this could actually boost Veve's exposure, because if people are more exposed to crypto and go more into crypto and find out about crypto, it's more likely that they will also take a look into digital collecting and NFTs, just to have that already set. So this is a good transition for us to immediately go. I think we skipped the other charts because there's no reason, there's no movement, and we're just going directly to Ecomi, just as a quick one. And I can only tell you, I will make this very quick. Ecomi is staying in that range, and it hasn't really moved. It tried to break a little bit upwards, but it was not unsuccessful. I think we said we're probably going to stay a little bit longer here in this accumulation range. So once again, and then hopefully we're going to break higher soon. But that's basically it. There's nothing more to say for Ecomi for now. Everything else has been said in the other charts or in the other live streams. Trucking Hank says, did you listen to Mr. MC1's space last night? I enjoyed the enthusiasm around Blackpink. I'm so glad I was here early. Exactly. So yeah, I think this is also something that I think is especially the NFT space, because it has been hit so hard in the bear market, is very hysterical right now. And you have to see one thing, which is really like, we were stuck in an anger phase so long that people, and now I think we're just still in a depression for especially for Veve and Ecomi, that now you still have these negative voices, but I hope that with with the time this will fade a little bit away. Because to be honest, I mean, I am advocating 100% for everyone that has concerns, raise their concerns. But what I think is very difficult and what I see is that people that made the decision to move out of Ecomi, Veve, whatever, like even on some on crypto, that they feel, in my opinion, they feel the need to see this fail right now, because otherwise they cannot live with themselves. So they are fearful now that they will lose out on a mega bull, right, in such a project, that they think they need to do their part now to put the last nail into the coffin. I think that is what they are feeling. So let's imagine just that you sold your OMI and you sold your collectibles, every collectible. You just didn't even keep a reserve just in case it pumps, right? Just keep 10 secret rares just in case that it goes crazy and nuts and then you capitalize on it, right? No, they went out completely because either they got scared or they lost faith in the project, which I all can understand, right? But now they're sitting around and they're commenting on user videos for how to get a Blackpink collectible or how to do create a Veve account, and basically try to keep other people from coming in. And I think that's because of them being scared of having made the wrong decision. They want to be right. And unfortunately, I think there is a good chance that they are wrong, right? So we will see. We all learned patience from you, Hodler. Thank you very much. But I think you are, Trucking Hank, you are one of the very patient people. You've been sitting on OMI and stacking OMI a long time. I think you've been very patient also through the cycle. Hence the bronze star on your on your name tag. Yeah, and climbing up the medal ranks. Yeah, so definitely. Look at that. So here's some good news about this, and I think this is what drives a lot of people nuts now. Yeah, exactly. You're saying it absolutely right. Misery loves company, but it's not only that. It's just like fear drives people to extreme measures. For example, fear or envy, right, drives people to extreme measures. So you're always like, if you're saying, oh, it keeps only going down, you're right until it makes the curve back up, right? And so here, for example, Veve just got 2,000 new followers on Instagram in only 12 hours. So that means that because of the Blackpink post on Instagram, so they posted a reel on Instagram, and that made 2,000 people follow Veve on Instagram. That doesn't mean that all these 2,000 people will come into the app, but it definitely is a chance that a portion of these people will come into the app and that the number of followers on Instagram will increase. So it would be good for Veve to use this to make more like teasers and stuff about this Blackpink stuff coming out to keep them interested, right? There's no sense of having now a lot of Marvel stuff in their face, right? Which they don't care, because otherwise they would just unfollow again. No, they need a follow-up on a Blackpink right now. And then also, just a quick info here for you guys. There is an update out with minor fixes. And just to update your app, right? So then we have some Veve statistics about yesterday, and I would really love them from Stacker to include the new users always, like that there's a new user feature always, but we will look at it on Immutascan in a second. So Veve had yesterday a value transaction of $56,000. The biggest transaction being $5,000, and there were 7 transactions beyond 1,000, which is good, right? And people minted 215 new collectibles from the store, which are probably mints from, and I don't know if they can include the comic mints as well, but because I think there are overall more. But yeah. So let's quickly look at user development here. And I'm going to move this so that we see it here. So what we clearly see is that our normal coiling up was very linear, right? We got about 10 or so, a couple of people, but now here, since the 3rd of May, since the first rumors about Blackpink were out, and since the first things about Blackpink, we see that actually this climb is more steep. And it will be interesting to see how, it's more steep, and this is only people that have already a collectible, right? So you always have to see that on a muter scan. Let's sink this in. Let's have this sink in. On a muter scan, you only get recognized as a unique holder, unique owner. Here, basically, it says it, unique owner. You only get recognized as a unique owner when you have at least one collectible. So this is an increase in people that already have an account and that already bought a new collectible. So actually from yesterday to today, but today is ongoing, it's 4. But from the day before, from 64 to 108, that's 36 plus 8 is 44. So from May 6 to May 7, actually I said yesterday before on the stats, that was actually 2 days ago, the stats. But on so from May 6 to May 7, we just got 44 new people. And then from like yesterday to today ongoing, we got 4 new people. And the day before that, it was 20 new people. So in the last couple of days, we get like 60, 70 new people. And I think that is good overall. Like, remember, 44 people that bought at least one collectible and had no collectible before, or had 0 collectibles before. It doesn't mean that they didn't have. There can be also people that have 0 collectibles and are in Veve longer and rebuy. They also will count in here. Okay, but that also means if someone sells and moves out of Veve, that is reflected also here. You would have a loss, right? But it's actually not happening. So what I'm going to expect is that we will see, once the Blackpink drops, another spike like this, right? Another spike like this, because there will be a lot of people that will make an account to get this free collectible for Blackpink. And they are going to have 0 collectibles in the account, and then they get an airdrop, and this will make the spike like here with the Omi logo, where a lot of people with 0 collectibles got an Omi holder airdrop. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So let's see along the next Crypto Morning Coffee streams how the user development for Veve is actually playing out. So that is good, right? Are you buying comics today? No, unfortunately, I'm not going to buy comics today. I'm going to do a little bit of a break with the buying, because I have some things going on that I have to pay. So, for example, a little bit of medical bill, because I did this detox treatment that is not covered by the regular insurance. And stuff like that, right? And then I'm also going to travel, and hopefully I can. So this is my dream. I hope there's a lot of things going on about Ecomi, Veve and stuff like that, so that when I'm traveling to Italy, that I can make the videos from different places in Italy, right? And have more outdoor content for you guys. So we'll need to get back to the outdoor content, that's for sure. So, and then here, let's talk a little bit, or let's see a little bit of on the Blackpink stuff, right? So this is not just any K-pop band. This is a global phenomenon. And what I found interesting is, for example, look at this. Since forming in 2016, the Korean quartet keeps smashing records. Blackpink are the most followed female group on Spotify. They are the music group with the most subscribers on YouTube. Just to name two of their Guinness World Records. They have the most subscribers on YouTube. This is crazy, right? Yeah. Trucking Ang says, do you feel better from this treatment? Yeah, I do. I do feel, in general, I do feel better, and I've made changes on diet-wise and so on, so it allows me to put on a little bit more weight, right? So I think that's if you're someone who has problems with that, then putting on more weight feels really good, right? So that is good. But thanks for asking. So here's like this article is like full of stuff that they made and brought out, but the bottom line is these guys have a huge fan base, right? They have a huge fan base. It's not my type of music, but that's not a problem, because also on the Veve app, I mean, I am into comics, right? I'm into Veve comics, but I love the idea of having a collector space that is there for K-pop, right? And for everything else that they like on the app. So I think it's great. And I know that a lot of people, like in the ages of maybe 7 years, 14 years, maybe 18 years, they are crazy about the stuff, right? And so they will have their parents sign up for Veve. And then the parents, they are probably nostalgic about other stuff, and maybe there's just a family collector experience going on, right? Mark D says, Veve is so much bigger than any little collectible buyer guy. People need to get over themselves. What Veve is building is so much bigger than they can grasp. And I think that some people realize this right now. And it's really I mean, Veve still has a couple of problems that I also outlined in my videos, and that I will keep highlighting until there are changes, right? But this is constructive criticism. And then you have on the other side what I just said. People, as you say, they cannot get over themselves, and they just have to, like, Veve just announced a digital collectible partnership with the biggest girl band in the world, and they still find a way to put it as if this was like as if this was a scam, right? So this is, yeah, Mark D said it very well. So I think that this could be a very big deal for Veve. I think that could be a very big deal for Veve, and if they're keeping now, it is a big deal for Veve. It is, because it's getting much attention. I mean, we saw the YouTuber Wendy O. She is she's like from these. She's in crypto since a while, and she's doing like very, very regular content. And she has 200,000 subscribers, and she was just like giving a 2-minute bullish rant on Veve, which I support. I think she did a good job on that, and this is exactly what we need, right? That the other YouTubers are highlighting what's going on with Veve because of new content, right? And I think there will be more YouTubers. There are for sure more YouTubers that are at least talking about this partnership, and they're going to talk about, hopefully, so that more people are coming in to get the free NFT, right? Mewtwo says the Veve NFT model is also in favor of both OGs and newcomers. If you have a fixed 10k JPEG NFT project and the OGs will always have the most utility, how can you scale up for a global brand? Yeah, and it's even more than that. You're absolutely right. So if you take the NFT projects with 10,000 editions, the problem is that most of them are not collecting any recurring revenue from what they've already brought out, and they are not like, the difference is you bringing out your own brand and building your own brand, and you're limited to that. Like Bored Apes is the most famous of them all. but they cannot say, oh, we're bringing out Nike NFTs now. No, they are Bored Ape, that's the brand, and they can only dilute by bringing out new Bored Apes what they already have. And if they don't bring something new out, then they cannot attract new fan bases, right? But what Veve can do is, Veve is Veve, and they can have Marvel, Disney, whatever. Like, they can just tap into a new collectors group and bring them into their world. Yeah. So on the other side, that's their biggest value to the brands, because theoretically, even if you are if you are an NFT brand like Bored Apes or so, you could even say, hey, let's just launch on Veve, right? I mean, there needs to be something made before, and that is an active interoperability for them to actually do that, because they will never abandon this way of being on layer one, giving interoperability and self-custody. That needs to be there, but hopefully we're getting there at some point. She was on the space. Oh, she was on the space? That's great. So with Mr. MC1, that's awesome. I wasn't able to listen to that, because I think that was like a couple of hours ago. I think it was 3-4 hours ago. That was in the middle of the night for me. So definitely that was too late for me to join, right? So here we have it, like what happened yesterday. So she was like, so here Miss Deus Geek, she's working with Veve in the marketing, and she was like, oh my god, Blackpink just shared our video to their IG stories. First Marvel with Veve comics, and now this, right? So this is the reason why they got so many subscribers on Instagram. Yeah. And it's probably also good for Blackpink, because now a lot of people are starting to follow Blackpink from our space. That is good. Wendy O and her daughter. That's cool. That is really cool. Okay, and then we have the so here we have another example of I don't get it, but here we have David Yu. Galaxy's most famous mobile home is coming to Veve. Jawabunga. Okay, so that's a David Yu. And I mean, this thing is just massive. And I saw Kid Arcade stream the other day, and he was like, this is my Veve home in the Veveverse. But then we have like Mr. Squibs here saying, you need to start playing CEO like any other adult CEO. I know you love to play with your collectibles, and I love that for you, but you need to literally do the job that your job title suggests. If you can't, won't, don't know how, let me do it. I say that with full respect, Mr. Yu. I don't know Mr. Squibs in person, but so far, I don't think that, I think that David Yu's style of exactly being the playful person that he is has been good for acquiring brands and licenses and so on. And I think it's like Mr. Squibs is saying to someone that just brought in this mega deal with, or I don't know how long they already have this deal with Blackpink, but someone who just brought this mega deal is like, oh, you're doing it wrong, let me do it for you. I don't know if this is the right way to criticize the project, because I think it's not about the style of CEO that David Yu is. It's not about being like any other CEO. If he would be like any other CEO, he could be like the Recur CEO, right? And then we have a bigger problem than we have right now. So I think this criticism is ridiculous in the sense of he suggesting himself as a CEO and then criticizing someone that is on a pretty successful road with the entire app. Yes, sales are down. Yes, daily active users are a little bit down, but the licensing is awesome. The licensing is great, and I think if you would criticize, then I would say, hey guys, we're a Web3 community. Let's have something more. Or hey guys, our prices are down. Let's have something to to bring in more, like make it easier to bring liquidity to the Veve market. This is the criticism that we want to see, right? So maybe talk about the actual points that need to be criticized, which is exactly this: have more pay-in methods, have less payout fees, get some way of self-custody interoperability. What else is necessary? OMI to NFT. That's it. That's I think what everyone wants. But this, I don't think that someone is really interested in wants that David Yu is playing another role of CEO. He's like that, and that's what people signed up for him. By the way, Mr. Squibbs is also here since years, and he knew this, and now he's criticizing it. I think that's because he might be fearful that the prices are not coming back. Anyways, then we also have this, seeing a ton of Veve users reporting that they have moved up as many as 3 or more MCP levels from yesterday. As more new users join the platform, the average point accumulation required to move up the ranks decreases. So Master is down at about 2,450 points. Still a long way from me, but I also saw, we can pull this up. Let's go to Cavell's page. I saw Cavell criticizing this, and I'm not sure, but I think he didn't really understand what this is, right? So yeah, he cites this here, right? And then he says, when the math ain't mathin', 40 new people impacted Veve to this extent. The problem is that what we just discussed, right? So Cavell, if you see this might be something to correct. So the points that are picked as data for 40, I mean, we looked at it right now on the Muter scan, are unique holders. So you have 14 new people that already bought at least one collectible, versus MCP ranks are being impacted by everyone that has an account, even the ones that have 0 collectibles. So if you create more accounts, then the percentile of the ones that can be master collector increases, which means it will, if you just make a table of all Veve users, and you have always the top 1%, that means if you have 10,000 users and you have 1%, that is what is that? 100 users can be master collector. But if you increase by 1,000 new wallets that have 0 collectibles, then this percentile will increase by another 10 people that can be master collector, right? So every bracket will increase by X amount of wallets that can now be in this bracket. And that is, I think, where the math ain't mathin' for Cavell. It's really not. It's really two different things. Being a holder with 1 collectible and 0 collectible, and it impacts 2 different things. Because if these new wallets go from, let's say there are 10,000 people that are coming in, they all have 0 collectibles, but you still will have in the top bracket 200 instead of 100 master collectors. Yeah, so this is different, right? So I don't know, but yeah, that's just not the way that this works. Okay, back to yeah, but 0 collectible users are useless to us. That is true, but you have to see, as I just explained, the people that are coming in for Blackpink, they just made an account. They have 0 collectibles, and they are waiting for the Blackpink drop. So what I am predicting is that the moment that the Blackpink drop is coming in, they will all be with one collectible or more, and then they will start adding or maybe completing their Blackpink set or whatever is coming out. Plus, they will all get their airdrop, right? So then they will go from 0 to at least one collectible by airdrop, and then they will maybe buy from the store what's coming out for Blackpink, and then they will maybe complete their set, and then they will maybe find something else that they like. But this is a process. You cannot. When I joined the app, I made an account, and then I waited for the drop that I wanted, and that was the Marvel Comics #1 drop. And then I minted 2 comics on that drop, and then I waited, and I was like, okay, let's do the next drop. Like, let's do just this next drop. And then I was just, okay, I think I'm going to collect comics on Veve. And then I was looking around. I did for months. I only collected comics, and then I was like, okay, let's just buy these Disney let's take part in the collectible side as well. Let's see what else is there. So then I bought some Batmans as well that were already out, and that's just how the development is. I think the onboarding of new people take time to get them hooked, to get them in, to get them to spend money in the market, to play around, and also they need to find this connection to us as a community. Yeah. So this is also where, if you want to proactively do something, is probably the way of using the internal chat of Veve to welcome the new people, to post some stuff, and to just be more active, because they might be looking into that chat if they're very new and see what's going on and read about Veve. So yeah, no problem. NFT here is all good. I think just we have to be realistic with how these numbers come together, right? And then this one here also is the last one. I just opened this up. The first time Kobayashi letter in the Veve section of our stream here. Disney stocks actually down 10%. I think that could be interesting to us. So they reported a quarterly revenue of 22.1 billion. This is just insane. And 153.6 million Disney Plus subscribers, both of which were below expectations. But Disney and Hulu made 47 million in profit this quarter, compared to a $587 million loss in Q1 2023. So quarter over quarter, they're actually making profit, probably also because they did a cost cutting, which means they had layoffs probably, or very likely. So Disney's ability to break into streaming is crucial, and also for us, I think in the long run, it's important that Disney does well, and maybe hopefully throughout the bull run, Veve can be a crucial part for that, to show that they are a valuable part in getting a very profitable business into our little business branch, right? NFTs, digital collectibles. Lastly, I want to congratulate Energy here. I saw you were in the chat as well. To another insane collection. So Energy is like putting out all of these things, like where he collects all the covers from the artists. So he's like happy to now call all ultra rare of Nicoletta Baldari my own. Here you have something to put a check mark on. So he's just incentivized, or he's calling people for completing another. So he's going from the collector side, right? He has all the Scotty Youngs. He has all the what is the name of of these other covers that he's collecting. Now I'm drawing blank here on the name. But overall, he's like collecting these covers, and now Nicoletta Baldari, and what was the other name? I forgot the other one. Mark D says, David Yu isn't enough of a psychopath for American investors to feel confident as CEO. It's hilarious and so sad at the same time. Yeah, I mean, that's a strong take, but yeah, I don't know if it's that. I think that people that are scared or that don't see their vault values coming up, they're like they're seeking for a reason. And this reason cannot be with them, because that would mean that they are responsible for their own mistakes. For example, buying a partner statue at $50,000, right? That is yeah, right. That is like, oh no, Bitcoin is going down, and just at Bitcoin they cannot find a culprit because no one's managing actively Bitcoin. Yeah, Peach Momoko. Yeah, exactly. That was the one that I was looking for. Like, I think you have all the Peach Momoko, right? Energy. So that is just crazy collecting. I mean, Energy is a true comic book collector. I think that is without any question. This is awesome. And every time I see this stuff, like, I will retweet this, by the way, because I think it's awesome. Every time I see stuff like that, it just wants to make me go to the app and also completing an artist that I like, right? And I think this is the cool stuff. This is really where collectors can thrive, right? It would be cool if we would have something like an award or something like a badge or something like that if someone completes or has a complete set of artists, and that always, like, this always moves up whenever there's a new artist cover of that same artist coming out, so that these collectors say, okay, I need to have the other one to be able to complete the set again, right? Something like a dynamic set situation. I would really love that. But yeah, overall, guys, thanks for being here today. Please smash up the like button. I always forget to ask, but it would be really cool if we could get some 20 likes here. Guys, remember, we are very early in this cycle. We are very early overall in crypto. We are even more early on altcoins and on NFTs. Veve is still in the beginning phases of their potential, in my opinion. This is all not financial advice, but please, guys, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and wherever you are on the world, have such great morning, evening, day, night, or